how you find the destiny in life. So this is a personal story, and not for you to believe this is going to work for you, but rather to explain my personal journey to see if this may trigger some interest or benefit in your personal journey. So one of the writing is called the Ten-Mei. Ten is heaven, and Mei means order. So order from heaven. It's a Chinese word, and the Japanese import lots of those. And that is the connection for us be the master of our own destiny, which I think has a notion of the mini company. Outline is like this. There are 6 main points that I want to go through that correspond to the pictures, and I go step at a time. But at the end, this whole message may be connected to finding the happiness in life. And these are the 6 in Japanese or Chinese character, and I want to explain each of those in a sequence. What I'll be talking about is what you do in work, but how that may be related to your personal life. Because I think when you are connecting your personal desire to your work desire, that's when you get the most productive passage, the journey that you can find. And the company can provide such an environment and provide the tools for you to do that, to learn how to manage with the idea of like a mini company. So we know what we talked about, the mini company. So that's the work end of the picture. There's a life which may be somewhat analogous that we can find. Because work is to achieve some mission utilizing the talent of the people. In an individual life, you are to achieve your mission utilizing whatever you have. Maybe friends and whatever, I don't know. So the process seems to be similar to me. The idea is then how to orient our work and hobby, relationship and so forth for a meaningful purpose. That to me is the question mark. And I am suggesting the basic principle that we talked about in mini company, the PDCA, self-managing and so forth, seem to apply in managing your personal life. You don't have to believe it, but you can think about it. And that's what I want to talk about. And when we find that the principle works, you find it intuitively that makes sense, like anything. And then when you do that, the happiness is realized because you're following the principle way and aligning your personal goal to what you do. So maybe idealistic view of the way we look up our life, but that's what I think I went through in my life. So life is a journey, and there are those 6 key ingredients as I see it. One is about the passion. If you want to move forward and find the meaning, typically I think we need energy and the will, and that's part of our life, and that we are not just a machine. So journey may connect to our will, power, initiative and passion, and then you challenge certain hurdles by observing what is going on and doing whatever has to be done to overcome the hurdle and express who we are. And again, work or hobby or anything, we go through this kind of a process. As we go through the challenge, there may be a moment that the conventional way doesn't work and you hit the wall. But there's a moment that you can go beyond the conventional belief to break through. So that's another level that you may find in your journey in life. It may work, it may not work, it depends, and I want to talk about my story related to that. And when you can break through, you may get some like awakening, you know, oh, this is what I wanted and this is what I feel right in what I do. So what I'm saying is that if you keep working on the problem, there will be a moment of discovery. And that's the connection to the Ten-Mei, the word that I use, which is the order from heaven, as if some insight is gained, and almost like finding this is what I'm here for. You know, there's a destiny that you find. So everything is in line, and the energy is felt, and accordingly, because we are lining up our interest, desire, will, and what we do, there's kind of like a resonance in feeling that we are doing things right. Therefore, you may gain the sense of happiness. So, as we are convinced that we are on the right passage, we may find happiness. That's what I feel. But the situation changes all the time, and we may be lost in the journey. We may have to go revisit these ideas as if going through the cycle many times so that you keep moving on your journey. Nothing is guaranteed. It's like an impermanence. The situation changes, environment change, customer change, relationship may change, and you yourself may change. So you have to find your own passage and find the destiny. And I think that may continue so far as you live. But that's what I mean by the life is a journey. So looking at ourselves, my reflection is that it's a continuous beginning. You have to be at the zero base, because life is a continuous process of the change, and you have to find the passage in it. But if we do what we have done, we'll get what we've already got. So if we continue because of the habit that we develop, it may be like we are in the box and cannot see outside the box. So we have to find out, because that's the challenge, to go over the hurdle, and we have to find out where to start. So my position here, which I think was Manuel was talking about, he used the word like observe what's going on and find the passion and for the change. Very similar, because if you observe what's going on with a clear mind and not reacting to the negative mind habit, you see situation as it is, not the way you want to see, or you may react to the old mind habit, because once that happens, you get back to the statement, you know, if we do what we have done, we get what we always have got. So the challenge is to always be almost like a baby, to be open for the curious future and go through this process, perhaps by listening to the heart, and get the result, you know, by going through the breakthrough. So I think there's some common message there. So the passion is there, and the passion is those two words. On the left is hot, and on the right is the heart. So the hot heart is the passion. Life energy is coming out. That's the Japanese or Chinese expression. We want to have passion in what we do. So the case of Matsushita, who founded the Panasonic, you know, $30-40 billion company, he says if the man does not have passion, the mystery will be gone. You know, if you want to climb up the second floor, you come up with the answer, with the inspiration to make a ladder or stairs, whatever. But you have to have a passion you want to go there. So it's, in his view, it's not so much of a talent, but rather to come up with the idea to break through. And what is required there is the passion. The passion is for finding your destiny and moving along and going over the hurdles. So along the line like that, I mentioned to my son, he was 17 at the time, and I start to realize that I am repeating my same message over and over. And that's not healthy. If I do what I've done, I get what I've got. I'd rather for him to find his own independence and self-mastery. And I made this comment, saying that this is one of the last word, and from here on he need to find his own destiny, because I'm not your broken record, and you are to be independent, be self-managing and all that. So my last word, it's not last word, but basically my advice to him is find what you like. That's number one, because sometimes we don't know what we like. Because if you really like it, you have more passion in doing that. So find what you like, and hopefully he find the things that help the society. So there's two statements: what you like and help the society. Then you'll find the passage to live your life, perhaps doing what you feel happy about it. And I cannot do it for him, just like the mini company, because he's got his own talent and curiosity, his own hurdles. But I felt this is fairly simple message. So that's my recommendation, to find the passion to lead his own life according to what the heart will tell him. Then comes the challenge. Two words. One on the left is facing, and on the right means battle. So after the passion, you face the reality and move on. The life is not easy, and that's not to be negative, but to go beyond the constraint. Life is to go beyond the law of entropy, to organize yourself better and feel good in what you do. So after the passion is a challenge. And this is a guy named Taichi Ono who gave me lots of insight. I wrote my first English book, is called The New Manufacturing Challenge. And in fact, he gave me two words. One was the challenge. The other one is go beyond the conventional belief. That's like a ink writing. That's like a memory kind of thing. And obviously, he passed away already, but he left with lots of wisdom that I found it to be meaningful. So one of his book, I think he wrote something like, by actually trying, various problems become known, and as such problems became clear, they taught me the direction of the next move. And you want to avoid the pitfall, so you can collect the information and so forth, but you have to make a move, and you may face the difficulty, which he did, to come up with a Toyota production system. But he overcame, and that taught him the direction of the next move to come up with this Toyota production system. And I think that's very valid and reflect my life. I resonate to his point. And the second word he gave me is this word, that's joshiki. The first is beyond, the second is constant, the third is the consciousness or the mind. So you have to challenge, and often requires out-of-the-box thinking. If you just follow the standard operating procedure, you're like the machine, and you're not more than the machine. If you are to improve and to find the meaning, you need to question like out of the box and go beyond the conventional belief. As you may have done at the product where you started with a new business unit and challenge the conventional belief that other people maybe still thinking that's the right way to do, but you move on with this new idea and took a risk in a way, maybe calculated risk, to utilize your distribution channel and all that, and to capitalize what you can to go beyond. So those require some ideas, but ideas often connect to go beyond the conventional belief. So Taichi Ono says progress requires the revolution of consciousness. If we continue to think in a conventional fashion, there is limit. That's the challenge. Easy to say, difficult to do, but that's the word. And one day, as I was, 30 some years old, I had the occasion to meet with this guy Ono, who is known to be the father of Toyota production system. He's like a god in Toyota, and I'm lucky enough to see him a few times. And the last time I met him, we spent time, half a day, go through the shop floor, discuss this and that. I still remember that I wanted to be told that I have the black belt of Toyota production system. I know what Toyota production system, because he's the father, and if he can tell me you got it, then I fully accept it. So we had lots of discussion, and the discussion didn't go much, and the time passed. And in Japan, when you are asked to leave, sometimes they are very polite. They bring in the tea. The secretary bring the tea, and I drink it. And 10 minutes later, another tea is brought, and I drink the tea. Another 5 minutes, maybe there's another tea. So the point is, don't you get it? It's time to go. But I was like holding that table, because this is the last moment of discussion with Ono. I was committed. But eventually I have to leave, and he gave me those 2 words, and they sent the car to bring back to the station. I sit there and I exhausted myself, and what did I do? And that night I had a meeting with Ono. I had a dream, because I wanted to see I got it. I got the meaning of the Toyota production system. It doesn't matter, But he didn't give me the answer. He maybe asked the question, I don't know. But that left me some troubled feeling. And in the dream, he was leaving me, waving his hand, and I'm left alone. And I woke up sweating that, oh, he left me. What do I do? So I didn't get the confirmation of my view about Toyota production system, and I was left behind. So I reflected this dream in the bed, and kind of sweating. What's the meaning of it? And then it dawned on me. I came to the realization, the meaning of the dream, because I think dream often tell you lots of stories. So the story is that he's left and you're alone. What do? Answer is simple: find your own solution. Right? You cannot look for the master and guru and look for the answer, but you have to find your own solution. So I got the message. That's my interpretation of message, and for whatever reason, everything I felt like I liberated. There's no more question. I just do what I can, and as he said, as you move on, discover the problem that lead me to the next problem, move on and find your own solution. So the solution given from someone is not my solution, and you have to act, experience, learn, test out, and then keep on moving. And I resolved from that point on. I don't have to look for solution anymore. I just have to exercise what I know and find my own way. So that's basically, it's like awakening, the message I got. from Ono, from the boxed way of thinking that I was looking for the solution, but the solution may be inside of you, and you don't have to be ordained or proven, because there are things in front of me that I can do. So that's what I did, and that's the story of my writing books and moving from Japan to the US and starting small to become big to over the United States, and then wrote more books and then videos and then went around the world and so on and so forth. So it's interesting if you reflect on the moment of awakening. When you're looking for the solution, you don't find it. And Picasso says the same kind of thing. If I don't seek for it, I just find it. Because he's pretty much resolved, open mind, or the mind is not confined, because if you're seeking for it, you are still seeking for it, in a way straining yourself. But if you're open to the situation and be with the problem, that's the point of observing what's going on with a passion, and then you find a way to make a change to move forward. So that's the story of the awakening in a way. There are other awakenings that I can talk about, but that's one good example that connected to my work, to the passage in my life. So when you feel it, then it's like order from heaven. You are clear what you want to do, and you don't have much doubt but move forward. So one of this is Zen scholars' point. What is it that is the process to find the master, to become the master of our destiny? You know, there are machines, technologies, culture, and ideas, concept. You know, there are lots of those. But if we just follow them, we may become mechanical, just like a machine. But if we realize that we are the ones to create them and use them, like use the brain, we can find the respect to all humanity, as opposed to become the slave of someone's logic and the way of doing things, but keep challenging and moving forward. So instead of being ordered what to do, we can realize what we can do and then find the mastery in that process. But it requires what we talk about, the passion, the energy, the challenge, and go beyond the conventional belief to go through that process. So at the end, it's like finding the passage, as you have remember, you know, PDCA, PDCA, PDCA. We'll find where to go and how to go it, with some creating the mission, vision, do the problem solving, and go step at a time, expose and overcome and move on, and so on and so forth. So that's a view of the journey, and Matsushita talks about his view of the business and the personal journey. He says the purpose of the business is not generating profit, but happiness. I guess in your mission statement you don't put profit, but maybe happiness, I don't know. You know, profit is just a side product, but you need to have something to invest on. So that's just a balancing act, you know. And happiness yourself and to the customers, employees, suppliers, stockholders, and everyone, maybe what we are adding value. So it's not just the money, but it's more profound. And if we think like that, doing business has more uplifting feeling, that we have a higher mission kind of thing. And then, in a way, he pointed out, every leader should have a will to succeed and conviction to overcome the hardship. Very simple statement. So that's how he sees the happiness, which is the benefit and wealth. And I say happiness is in line, it's living in line with the Ten-Mei, the heaven's order. So your destiny, the mission is aligned, and when you're aligned, you feel something about it. Because happiness, in my view, is not connected to so much of the brain, because happiness is something you feel in your body, like a vibration or some warm feeling in your heart. So it's not so concept oriented, but more perhaps biological even, that there's a liveliness that you feel in your being. So in a summary, as you know that I put the word heart in business, results from the heart. So the heart is at the center, and we want to discover the talent we have and use it fully and do what we like or genuinely like, and while helping others. And the linkage and the process that we can go through is have the passion with the image, the will, the challenge. Often you may have to go beyond the conventional belief to come up with a resolution, awakening, to feel right about it, confirm your mission, and move along the line with a passage of the happiness. And I think living accordingly to this idea and expressing who you are is something that we can think about. So it requires a transformation, from business to individual, from just concept, but also heart, and not just psychological, issues, but the feeling, almost biological sense of feeling aliveness in your body. Make people before making product, and the organization can transform when the people transform themselves. So if you are talking about organizational transformation, there may be lots of light bulb and awakening moment that you find in the process of transformation. And if I'm just at one point here, the celebration is warranted to appreciate the moment, because that put the energy back into the system and appreciate and go to the next challenge. So you enjoy the whole process as a group. So the principle to me is fairly simple. I was writing the book about the waste elimination, but that connect to the appreciation of the human potential. I was writing of the mini company, which is connected to you to be the master of the destiny, even though you are part of the whole. That's the mini company. And I mentioned about the glassful management, transparency. Instead of hiding, but be honest, to see the reality as it is and expose the problem and find the direction of the move. And accordingly, you can find the path and you can enjoy the process. So this book has, someone put this picture, I like it. You are climbing up the ladder, and this guy is painting the ladder where to go next. So it's unknown, but you are the one to go explore the unknown potential. To me, maybe I'm a little bit more exploration oriented. Some people may be more conservative, but to me, life is the process of exploration, and it's fun. And I'm hoping that some of this message may mean something to you.